What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. I'm going to dive into Tilray brands. They had some news out today with regards to Broken Coast, some new strains, and there was some big news out of Calgary, Alberta today as well. So we'll discuss all that and more. We'll take a look at the price chart towards the end. Before we do, make sure to smash the like, the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos. Follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPow. As always, not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, and I do own Tilray in my portfolio. It's my largest MJ holding. So this was news out of Calgary, Alberta today, here in Canada, home to the Calgary Stampede. Calgary has approved MJ sales at all age events. We were given a clue last year when we had the outdoor comedy festival here in Edmonton. Plant Life was there selling products, and now you're going to see it all over Calgary. They had some bylaw changes. This is great. It's going to come to the rest of the province. To the rest of the country and other provinces eventually, right? It's going to take some time, but eventually you'll see it at bars and events and the Edmonton Oilers games and the Flames games and football games, etc. Right? You're going to be able to go to a restaurant and buy an MJ infused option, or go to a brewery and get an MJ infused beer, right? So it's an exciting time, and very proud to be an Albertan. I'm a resident here in Edmonton, and such an amazing community here in the MJ community in Alberta. Also today, Federal Reserve cut interest rates and sees two more cuts coming in 2025. I mentioned that the consensus was 25 basis points. I said that was the most likely scenario with a series of 25 basis point cuts, and that's exactly what they said today in the press conference. Jerome Powell said that pretty much nobody there at the Federal Reserve was considering a 50 basis point. So yeah, that's looking like the case, series of cuts over the next few meetings. And I think 50 bips would have been bad. It would have just sent a very bad signal to the economy and to the market about the economy. And Bank of Canada actually cut rates as well, saying that there was some weakening economic data. So not a great sign. But in other news, President Trump's pick for drug czar calls MJ rescheduling a bipartisan issue as they continue to explore all options of whether or not they want to deschedule, get Congress to actually do their job and do what they're supposed to be doing, is represent the people. The people, 80 to 90%, want to, kind of legalize in some form or another, but Congress doesn't want to support the people. They're just there for career politicians. President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the White House official National Drug Control Policy, Sarah Carter, said during her Senate confirmation hearing today that MJ rescheduling is a bipartisan issue, but rescheduling would be a step in the right direction. I think we already know that this is a bipartisan issue. When they were running for the presidential elections, both sides of the aisle, one side wanted to legalize it federally, make it recreational, legalized at the federal level, and then the other side wanted rescheduling, safer banking, states' rights, and Florida legalization. So I think we already know that the writing is on the wall, and it's just a matter of when, not if at this point. But as we know, they'll do it when they're damn well ready, not whenever the people want it or the science want it or the data or anything like that. Common sense. It's just whenever their political agendas are going to be going to allow for it, when it's good for them. Also, GOP senator says Congress must step up and regulate MJ. Imagine that, while exploring its efficacy for PTSD and pain. So yeah, obviously, Congress, that's your job. You're supposed to be there to represent the people, give the people what they want, not what you want, not further your constituents and your lobbyists, right? It's all about protecting the incumbents, the big pharma, tobacco, alcohol industry. Just these big corporations that are lobbying them. It's the only thing that makes any sense, right? It's not common sense. It's not the people. It's not the science. It's not the data. It's greed, corruption, and just regulatory capture and bullshit, for lack of better words. And it's not just one party. I can't stand any of the parties. Can't stand any politician. Hate them all, to be honest. They're all terrible. As far as I'm concerned, it's the worst thing ever. Politics, the bane of my existence. But yeah, it took us, we're almost legal for 7 years here in Canada, but even that was ridiculous that it took that long. But yeah, the U.S., don't care about the party, blue, red, white, yellow, polka dot, purple, left, right, whatever, center. They're all terrible. As far as I'm concerned, they should all be fired and never allowed back again with prejudice. It's been years and years and decades of just BS, and it should never have been put on the CSA in the first place. But we're undoing a lot of stupidity. So common sense will prevail. Don't worry, folks. We'll get there. Broken Coast MJ brand launches premium and limited BC Selects line and unveils new strain Spritz 26. and elevates craft portfolio with modern Blue Dream release. So this is one of their main brands here in Canada, and some of the top kind of craft, if you will, here in Canada. Broken Coast, Redecan. Those are the two main ones for Tilray, and then they have their value segments, etc. But they announced the premium MJ craft brand is launching. Broken Coast is launching BC Selects, a new limited edition line of premium MJ flower that features unique phenotypes from its proprietary genetic library. The first strain in this series, Spritz 26, is now available exclusively in BC, underscoring Broken Coast dedication to precision and of excellence in craft MJ production. BC Selects exemplifies Broken Coast's highest standard of phenotype selection, providing consumers with access to small batch, non-irradiated flower, selected for their exceptional qualities, including dense cola structure, abundant trichomes, and pronounced terpene profiles. Each release in the series will be exclusive and limited, underscoring Broken Coast's commitment to prioritizing quality over quantity, which wasn't necessarily the case whenever legalization began in 2018. And Spritz 26, the 26 phenotype from the Spritzer lineage, delivers a balanced hybrid experience with a minty, earthy profile and sweet, gassy finish. 28 to 34%. It also has 2 to 5% terpene content and a few different terpenes here. They're available in 3.5 gram flower, and sets the tone for future BC Selects product drops. So there it is on the screen there. Looks pretty tasty. Alongside the BC Selects debut, Broken Coast is introducing a modern expression of Blue Dream, 7 gram whole flower and 3 times 0.5 gram pre-roll formats. The pheno-hunted small batch version of the iconic cultivar preserves its classic sweet blueberry and herbal notes while delivering contemporary consistency and structure through Broken Coast's hallmark indoor, hand-trimmed, and slow-cured process. So BC Selects is about pushing the boundaries of craft, said Blair McNeil, president of Tilray Canada. And I've always said that once Hexo and Redecan really start to get into craft, it was going to just completely dominate. And then now you got Tilray and Afria and this just massive powerhouse. And my favorite strains right now are Redecan. The Space Age cake is really good. Animal Runs, Purple Churro is really, really good as well. It's a sativa, but you wouldn't know it. It'd just completely knock you on your butt, but so good. Those those 3 strains, definitely my favorite here at the moment. But taking a look at Tilray here on the hourly time frame, we didn't see too much volatility impacted from the rate decision. And SPY was pretty volatile, but ended up kind of erasing most of the downside that we saw today. And the S&P 500 is actually a daily bull flag. And speaking of bull flags, we've got a 2-hour bull flag here on Tilray. So if you go from the low to the high here, move that out to your 0.382 fib, you can see we held the 0.382 fib on that consolidation. And if confirmed, we need to break resistance. Let's get over 125 is the level to break. So get over 125, then we're looking at around 141. But again, I mentioned in the video yesterday that it's still a potential daily head and shoulders. So we need to get above 155 ASAP and confirm that weekly bull flag. So the key support is going to be $1 from here. If we hold $1, then the weekly bull flag remains intact. There's tons of other bull flags on deck as well. MSOS, there's one on SNDL. So that increases the odds that we're going to see one follow through here on Tilray as well. When the whole sector's like that, the S&P 500 was a weekly bull flag, then Bitcoin was, then we saw it around the sector within those, within the crypto sector, and now we're seeing it in the MJ sector and just market breadth opening up. And I think these rate cuts coming are really going to push us over the edge and see that final blow off top in the markets here as we approach 2026 and the end of the year here. But like I said, all about 155, break that, 290 is the target. All right, going in it there, it's Rod with the Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you on the next one.